Today we'll be installing the ideal door from Menards. It's a 16 by 7 with a 12.9 R value. I was able to put it in my 8-foot pickup bed. It was hanging out a lot. I wouldn't recommend doing that because it was hanging out in traffic, but luckily I did make it home without tackling the doors. So let's see what it looks like once we start unwrapping. All right, so what we have here is a 16 by 7 foot tall ideal door. It is a R value of 12.9. That's the best I had in stock. We got some gasket, wind trim, also a strut for the garage door opener to support that panel. This is the third box, all the hardware. This is the old crappy fiberglass door we're going to be replacing today. So ripped on this one, put the new one up. Probably take some measurements, see if that helps at all. And yeah, the garage is always a mess, so at least it'll be heated soon. Plus we got a Mr. Heater, 50,000 BTU gas heater. Never installed a garage door or a heater before, but I'm gonna mount both of them, get the garage in. I think I can handle that. Gas pipe, not the best with, or my dad knows how to do that though, so he's coming up in a week. He's gonna help me. And this place is gonna be heated and insulated. And then this winter, we'll get all this junk down, insulate the ceiling as well. Walls are already drywalled and insulated, so we're getting close. Alrighty, so we're gonna be uninstalling this 2-car garage door, 16 by 7. It's fiberglass. It has not these torsion springs, but the other ones, I forget what they're called. So yeah, we're gonna take those out, put the garage door down, and we're gonna get to it here. See if we can't get this thing down in 30 minutes. Never done this before, so wish me luck. I watched a quick video on YouTube. I saw this one guy was able to take down a 1-car garage door in 1 minute and 47 seconds. This was my first time doing this, so I knew that wasn't going to happen, but I set a goal for 30 minutes and it ended up taking 32 minutes. Alrighty, so we just got all the door panels out. They're all down over here. Only took a few minutes with a small battery powered wrench. Got a little 1/4-inch drive, a ratchet, power ratchet. That took it right apart. And already got the springs down. Just need to get the tracks next, and then we can start assembling the new one. Let's see, we're only about 15 minutes into this. Should be done in 30, like we said. Cool. I apologize in advance for any underwear shots. This is going better than I thought. Easy to disassemble. I'm sure it's different going back in though. Yeah, and the left and right track only took about another additional 15-20 minutes. Went smoothly. Alright, so this is the parts kit. Besides the doors. So we got 2 torsion springs. So we got 2 tracks to go back. Tracks go down. And we got 2 loops on there. Yeah. Bars for torsion motors. And we'll see what's in here. Alright, so here's all the hardware. We're going to spend a couple minutes reading through this, get familiar with it, and we'll get started here. Looks like a nice kit. Yeah, these hinges are, so they're nicer than the ones we had, so definitely very nice. Alright, let's get to reading. Alright, so let's see what's in these packages and see what this door actually ends up looking like. Check it out. When setting these doors, you have to do it from the inside of the garage, so I made the mistake by setting them up on the outside. So just a little advice for anybody trying this in the future. Alright, so here's the doors. They arrived in nice shape. We didn't screw them up. putting them in an 8-foot bed, so that does work. And we're gonna start assembling the hardware, get these things stacked, put in the tracks. Let's check it out. And the hardware went on really nice. I initially tried to use a 1/4-inch small power wrench, but I would recommend a 1/4-inch impact. And these panels are fairly light, probably only about 50 pounds a piece, so one person can definitely set them in place. So one mistake I did, there are numbered hinges. So ones go all the way at the bottom, ones go in the center of the second panel, number 2's on the outside, and number 3's. So by not reading directions, I set up outside. So now I gotta lift over the second door and get these 2 other panels inside so I can get them all latched up to the wall. So step 1, read your instructions. Don't forget to like and subscribe to 2 Acres. All right, so I skipped some of this because it was just boring putting on hardware and whatnot, but let me flip this around. So now we got all the rollers on. Got the top strut, which helps with the lifting of the garage door opener, so it doesn't flex too much. But yeah, I got all the hardware installed. We're still just screwed in at the moment. We got to put the tracks up next. And yeah, basically just tracks. And we'll be set to go. But starting to look good. All right, first step to setting up the tracks is just loosely setting 3 brackets. That's how they explain it to do it in the instructions. I'm actually reading them from now on because there's a lot of parts going on. But yeah, we'll get these mounted here and we'll start squaring everybody up. And if it gets too late in the day, you can always do this as a nice little temporary hold, just to make sure that the wind doesn't catch it and knock it in for the night. But a couple little 2x4s, one to offset it, one to hold it in, nice and stop for the night. We'll wrap up the tracks and hook up the motor tomorrow. So we got to set these legs where the wheels are only hanging out a 1/2 inch, about like that. Let's see here. Yeah, looks like they got a little taper on them there, so somewhere where they don't have too much space. And we'll get that set up. And then we'll run this top track, see if we can use their old brackets. If not, they got some, so let's get to it. All right, so now that we got these 3 bolts in, top one, middle one, and bottom, we got everybody just about snugged up, just enough to tap around. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure from this top portion over to there, and this top portion down there over to there. Make sure those are even. Then we're gonna do a cross that way and across that way. That way we'll have a even and square start, and we'll be able to move on and put the upper tracks in. All right, so somehow that worked out perfect. We're actually gonna be 17.5 from from this corner over here down to the bottom over there, and then from side to side we're 16.2 on top and bottom. So we're doing pretty good as far as that goes. We're all square. I'm gonna tighten it up and get to the next step and start doing the top rails. All right, check it out. So both tracks are up. There and there. I had to extend this wood further from the old one. I drilled halfway through with a larger drill bit to stick the two 2x4s together, plus some 2 at the top. Doesn't look the best, but we're going for functionality here, not aesthetics. We use that little set screw and old coat hanger to dangle these in place while we matched up all the hardware over here. And now we're going to set these top brackets to close in this gap so it seals up nicely. But yeah, it's coming together. If you have 2 people, I would say this is the only part that I've really got the snag on, where a lot of swear words could have been saved. So if you got a helper, definitely take it, especially with measuring from here to here for squareness. You don't want your door coming flying down on all your stuff in your garage or your head. So make sure you match up your square measurements and make sure that everything's good before you hit the button. Alrighty, next thing is gonna be the spring here. Alright, so now we're gonna set up the springs. We gotta mount the brackets, get the poles in with the springs, and then set the tension. Looks like on this one we're gonna have to do 11 1/4 turns for the proper weight. So stay tuned for that. Alrighty, so we got the brackets up. Didn't have enough mounting area, so I put that 2x4 in. Tried to put in the top, split the board, so we drilled a new hole on both brackets and got a good bite on that 2x4 we added. So super nice and strong now. I'll go on to the next step. Alrighty, so we got the brackets up. Didn't have enough mounting area, so I put that 2x4 in. Tried to put in the top, split the board, so we drilled a new hole on both brackets and got a good bite on that 2x4 we added. So super nice and strong now. I'll go on to the next step. So we're about to set up the spring torsion bar. You do kind of need 2 people for this because you need to set them in the brackets straight. So, or you can set a set screw or make some sort of jig to kind of hold up one side. But luckily I do have an extra hand, so we're about to put it in. All right, I've read the directions like 3 times, watched the video 3 times. Now we're gonna try the tension springs. We got everything set, I think. So put some goggles on and do a couple Hail Marys for me. All right, so I got 11 1/4 on each side. They're like guitar strings now, so that one's good. That was nice and tight. So let's see if it works. Hang them up on something already. Alrighty, well, it works. Went from that to this, and after 2 days of staring at this thing, I can see daylight. It stays shut, so we're good. All I need to do is hook up the garage door opener and make sure the tension's good for that. But that's a wrap. All right, so I did have to back off the springs one full turn, so I had 10 1/4 on each side, but the garage door does work good now, so here it goes. Like and subscribe to 2 Acres.